and stand in a circle of gray, watching the light of the centuries fade away. I call to the ridge and I wait for the sound of the oldest music that I finally found. No human voice, no modern strain, just the whisper of rock and the song of the rain. Oh, ancient echoes in the hollow of time, in a world that is simple, a world that is prime, solid and steady, patient and deep, where the secrets of the eternity sleep. Is a messenger, cool and so fast, carrying the stories of the long distant past. I'll sit on the granite and I'll be the calm, healing the spirit with a wooden bomb, a perspective of stone, a vision of grace on the planet, so an eternal phase. Doesn't have a shore. In the sanctuary where the eagles soar, I'll find my rhythm and I'll find my place in the middle of the nature's open space. Oh, ancient echoes in the hollow of time, in a world that is simple and a world that is prime, solid and steady, patient and deep, where the secrets of the eternity sleep. Ancient echoes, ancient soul, making the heart of the wanderer whole. High in the granite where the air is thin, where the world of the spirit and the rocks begin. Azure heights reaching for the sun, now that the climbing has finally begun. In alpine solitude, quiet and strong, this is where the giants truly belong. as it hides in an alpine solitude, finding the truth in the solitude. Solid and gray, reaching so high, under the dome of the endless sky. The wind is a whisper in the rocky cracks, far from the road and the human tracks. I'll sit on the edge and I look so far to the place where the earth and the heavens are. A perspective of stone, a vision of grace on the mountains old and eternal faith. Just the pulse of the mountain, never too loud. The world is a map, small and so far, under the light of the morning star. As your heights in an alpine solitude, finding the truth in the solitude. Solid and gray, reaching so high, under the dome of the endless sky. Alpine solitude, as your height the dreams of the climbers fly. When the sun has gone down and the world is a gray, the white queen of heaven begins her play. A celestial lantern, silver and bright, in the middle of the velvet summer night, casting a glow on the moss and the stone, in a kingdom that the silence has always known. A moonlit path and a celestial lantern, following the sky's eternal pattern, silver and soft, ancient and wise, under the dome of the midnight skies. The trees are like shadows in the milky light, guiding the spirits through the night. I'll follow the trail of the silver and blue, finding a vision that is honest and true. The stars are the audience, the moon is the guide, with the peace of the valley by my side. No need for a map, no need for a flame, when the universe is playing its ancient game. A dream of the white and a dream of the gray, until the stars are taken by the day. Moonlit path and a celestial lantern, following the sky's eternal pattern. Silver and soft, ancient and wise, under the dome of the midnight sky. Celestial lantern, moonlit path, away from the world and its winter. From the heart of the rock, from the dark of the ground, the purest music I've finally found. A clear spring bubbling into the light, waking from the shadows of the heavy night. Liquid crystal cool and so sweet, making the life of the valley complete. Clear spring and the source of life, away from the struggle and away from the strife, flowing forever, ancient and new, in a world that is honest, a world that is true. The moss is drinking at the edge of the flow, watching how the seeds and the spirits grow. I'll cup my hands and I'll take a drink, standing on the forest's holy brink. A medicine water, a medicine grace, on the mountain's quiet and waking face. a liquid journey that will never stop. From the deep mountain to the wide sea, setting the soul of the wanderer free. Clear spring in the source of life, away from the struggle and away from the strife. Flowing forever, ancient and new, in a world that is honest and a world that is true. Source of life, clear spring, the song that the mountain waters sing. In the square of the light from the window pane, far from the noise and the mountain rain, the tiny spirits are spinning around in the most graceful rhythm I've finally found. Dancing dust in a solar beam, living the life of a golden dream. Solar motes and the dancing dust, in the beauty of the nature I will trust. Small as a thought and light as the air, floating in a peace that is everywhere. They have no worry, they have no plan, smaller than the eye of the busy man, but they catch the glow and they catch the grace on the forest warm and waking face. I'll watch the motion, I'll watch the fly, as the hours of the afternoon go by. Solar motes and the dancing dust, in the beauty of a nature I will trust. Small as a thought and light as the air, floating in a peace that is everywhere. Dancing dust on moves, riding the nature's quietest note. In the square of a light, in the square in the square of the light. The earth has a secret, a crack in the stone, a language that only the water has known. A deep canyon where the sun is aligned in the architecture of the grand design. Walls of the orange and walls of the red, before the valley goes to its forest bed. Rock hard in a deep canyon. The mountain is my only companion, solid and steady, ancient and wise, under the dome of the eternal skies. The river is small on the canyon floor, stretching away to the mountain's door. I'll follow the path and I'll follow the glow, watching how the ripples and the seasons go. A perspective of depth, a perspective of grace, on the planet's old and eternal face. The echoes are long and the echoes are deep, where the secrets of the giants quietly sleep. A sanctuary of the stone and the air, in a peace that is moving everywhere. Rock hard and a deep canyon. The mountain is my only companion, solid and steady, ancient and wise, under the dome of the eternal skies. Deep canyon, rock hard, nature's most beautiful and hidden art. Where the blue of the sky meets the blue of the hill, and the world is growing perfectly still. A silver line on the edge of the world, every secret of the universe unfurled. A boundless vision, wide and so far, under the light of the morning star. silver horizon and a boundless space, finding the truth in the nature's grace. Open your heart and open your mind, leaving the weight of the city behind. The light is a crystal, fresh and so clean, the most honest spirit that I've ever seen. I'll follow the glow and I'll follow the line in the architecture of the grand design. A perspective of distance, a perspective of light, in the victory of the morning over the night. Small are the worries and small is the man in the middle of the nature's eternal plan. But we are a part of the beauty we see in the boundless world where the spirits are free. Silver horizon and a boundless space, finding the truth nature's grace. Open your heart and open your mind, leaving the weight of the city behind. Boundless space, silver horizon, the most beautiful world I've set my eyes on. Go past the trail where the people stay, to the place where the light is a dark and a gray. The center of the woods, ancient and deep, where the secrets of the sanctuary sleep. The trees are the pillars, the moss is the floor. I couldn't ask for a sanctuary more. Deep forest heart, emerald and old, in a story of life that is brave and bold. Cool is the air and soft is the sound in the quietest kingdom I finally found. The pulse of the sap is a rhythmic flow, watching how the seeds and the spirits grow. I'll be the shadow and I'll be the peace, watching the noise of the struggle cease. A cathedral of green, a temple of grace, in the forest's warm and hidden face. Everything's connected, everything's one, under the light of the moon and the sun. A milestone of spirit, a vision of life. nature's own and nature's art. Under the moss and under the clay, the strength of the giant is hidden away. A web of the life in the dark and the cold, a story of patience that is never told. Twisting through history, drinking the slow, watching how the seeds and the spirits grow. Deep root in the earth's anchor, safe from the storm and the winter's rancor. Solid and steady, ancient and strong. This is where the eternity belongs. The cedar is reaching for the edge of the sky, but its heart is in the ground where the memories lie. A bond with the soil that never can break, for the beauty and the balance sake. Holding the mountain and holding the plain, in the middle of the sun and the silver ray. Shake what is fastened so deep, where the secrets of the sanctuary sleep. A foundation of grace, a foundation of light, away from the struggle and away from the strife. Deep root in the earth's anchor, safe from the storm and the winter's rancor. Solid and steady, ancient and strong. This is where the eternity belongs. Earth's anchor, deep root, nature's own and nature's fruit. shadows of the forest quietly play. Deep shade on the mossy floor. I couldn't ask for a sanctuary more. Deep shade and a velvet outline in the architecture of the grand design. Cool as the air and soft as the sound in the quietest sanctuary I finally find. The sun is a pattern on the leafy roof of the spirit of the nature. It's a living proof. I'll step into the dark and I'll be the peace, watching the noise of the struggle cease. A cathedral of green, a temple of the old, and a story of life that is brave and bold. No need for a lamp, no need for a light. When the darkness is beautiful and darkness is bright. A milestone of spirit, a harbor of grace. In the forest warm and hidden space. Deep shade and a velvet outline in the architecture of the grand design. Cool as the air and soft as the sound in the quietest sanctuary I finally found. Velvet outline, deep shade in the sanctuary that the patience made. A sea of the green on the valley's wide floor, stretching away to the mountain's door. The grass is moving in a rhythmic dance, left to the wind and left to the chance. An emerald sway in the afternoon heat, touching the knees and brushing the feet. Sway and the grass whisper before the morning air gets crisper. A wave of the life, a wave of the light, keeping the shadows far out of my sight. The insects are humming a low, steady drone in a kingdom that the silence has always known. I lie in the middle and I disappear into the only music I wanna hear. The whisper of the stalks, the sigh of the blade in the sanctuary that the summer has made. Every stem is a prayer, every leaf is a line in the architecture of the grand design. A tidal motion, a liquid grace on the valley's warm and open face. And me sway in a grass whisper before the morning ever gets crisper. Shadows far out of my sight. Grass whisper, lemon sway, lost in the light of the forest day. The sun is a fire in the middle of the sky, watching the dreams of the people go by. A golden hearth for the forest and plain, healing the world after the silver rain. A solar warmth on the back of the neck, without a cloud or a single speck. Golden hearth and a solar warmth from the deep south to the icy north. The energy of life, the energy of life in the victory of the morning over the night. The rocks are drinking the heat of the noon, lulled by the rhythm of the summertime tune. The plants are reaching with a leafy hand to the finest treasure in all of the land. It's the power of growth, it's the power of grace on the planet's wide and eternal face. No need for a switch, no need for a flame. When the sun is playing its ancient game, a blanket of gold, a blanket of peace. where the noise of the struggle will finally cease. Golden hearth and a solar warmth from the deep south to the icy north. The energy of light, the energy of light in the victory of the morning over the night. Solar warmth, golden heart, the engine of the beautiful.
The stone is a giant, reaching so high, carving a line in the azure sky. The walls are the pages of the history book, where the spirits of the valley finally look. An echo canyon, deep and so wide, where the voices of the centuries hide. Granite walls and an echo canyon, the mountain is my only companion. Solid and steady, ancient and wise, under the dome of the eternal sky. I'll call to the rock, and I'll listen for the sound of the most beautiful music I finally found. The sound returns with a weathered grace, reflected on the mountain's rugged face. A conversation with the stone and the air in a sanctuary that is moving everywhere. The paths are narrow and the cliffs are steep, where the secrets of the giants quietly sleep. A perspective of greatness, a vision of peace, where the noise of the struggle will finally cease. Granite walls and an echo canyon, the mountain is my only companion. Solid and steady, ancient and wise, under the dome of the eternal sky. Echo canyon, granite walls, where the spirit of the nature calls. Deep in the dark, where the minerals hide, with the power of the nature on their side. The roots are a web in the brown and the cold, a story of strength that is never told. Feeding the giants and feeding the grass, watching how the years and the seasons pass. Heart of soil and a rooted spirit, if you listen close, you can almost hear it, the hum of the life in the heavy ground, the most solid peace that I finally found. The earth is a mother, the earth is a home for the people who stay and the people who roam, holding the anchors of the cedar and pine, in the architecture of the grand design. Every grain of the sand is a part of the whole, making the spirit of the forest soul. No wind can shake it, no storm can break the bond that the roots and the mountains make. A foundation of grace, a foundation of life, away from the struggle and away from the strife. Heart of soil and a rooted spirit, if you listen close, you can almost hear it, the hum of the life in the heavy ground, the most solid peace that I finally found. Rooted spirit, heart of soil, ending the day and ending the toil. One single lump made of the leaves and the pine, in the architecture of the grand design. The forest is breathing slow and so deep through the waking world and the world of sleep. A sacred inhale of the morning light, taking the heavy from the winter night. Infinite breath and a sacred inhale, the life of the nature will never fail. Cool is the air and fresh is the scent, everything's beautiful and heaven sent.
watching how the seeds and the spirits grow. I'll stand in the center and I'll breathe it in, where the world of the spirit and the earth begin. A cycle of oxygen, a cycle of grace on the forest's warm and hidden face. Just the purity of the air, making it complete. A tonic for the heart, a balm for the soul, making the spirit of the human whole. Infinite breath and a sacred inhale, the life of the nature will never fail. Cool is the air and fresh is the scent. Everything's beautiful and heaven sent. Sacred inhale, infinite breath. The forest is the victory over the dead. The white queen is rising above the ridge, building a light for the silver bridge. The water is moving, the water is drawn by the power that works until the dawn. Soul of the deep, waking the spirits from their heavy sleep. Silver tide in a lunar pool, the beauty of the night is finally full. A rhythmic motion, an ancient leading the world to the cosmic chance. The red paws are washing the moonlit sand, controlled by the ghost of the celestial hand. I walk by the edge where the form is bright, in the middle of the peaceful velvet night. It's a cycle of gravity, a cycle of grace on the planet's quiet and awakened face. the journey of the silver tide. Everything's connected, everything's one. The world of the nature, the work is never done. Silver tide in a lunar pool. The beauty of the night is violently full. Rhythmic motion, an ancient dance, leaving the world to the cosmic chance. Moon and pool, silver tide, with the mystery of life by my There is a moment when the wind is gone, before the breaking of the golden dawn, a point of the silence so deep and so clear that the heartbeat of the nature is all you can hear. The leaves are unmoving, the water is still. Under the shadow of the pine-covered hill, perfect stillness and a silent echo, watching how the light and the shadows go. A vacuum of peace, a harbor of grace in the forest, sold in eternal space. The birds are waiting in the branches of gray for the first little signal of the coming day. In this hollow of time, the world is at rest, finding the truth on the highest crest. I'll hold my breath, and I'll be the calm, healing the soul with a wooden balm. No thought in the mind, no move in the air, just the presence of the life that is everywhere. A milestone of spirit, a vision of light, in the victory of the morning over the night. Perfect stillness and a silent echo, watching how the light and the shadows go. A under the fern where the shade is the most, far from the light and the sunlit coast. A tiny flower is opening its heart in the middle of the forest, living art. No human eye, no camera's glare, just the beauty that is growing everywhere. Secret bloom and an unseen beauty. Nature is doing its quietest duty. Petals of silk and a heart of the gold. A story of life that is brave and bold. It doesn't need a garden, it doesn't need a wall to stand so proud and to stand so tall. Scenting the dirt and scenting the moss, in the place where the shadows are never a loss. A miracle born in the dark and the deep, where the secrets of the sanctuary sleep. The bugs are the visitors, the wind is the friend. In a world that doesn't have a beginning or end, everything's valuable, even the small, in the grandest design of the nature's code. Secret bloom and an unseen beauty. Nature is doing its quietest duty. Petals of silk and a heart of the gold. A story of life that is brave and bold. Unseen beauty, secret bloom, banishing every shadow of gloom. Look up from the shadows of the pine to the place where the ancient fires shine. A million diamonds on a velvet black, with no road and no human track. The sky is an ocean deep and wide, with a galaxy moving like a siren. The Milky Way is a river of light flowing through the center of the night. I am a speck of the dust and the bone in a kingdom that the stars have always known. A map of the infinite, a vision of grace on the planet's quiet and sleeping face. No sound in the distance, no noise in the air, just the cold of the space that is everywhere. We are made of the stars and the ancient fire, raising the hope of the human much higher. Starry abyss and a cosmic ocean, watching the universe in slow motion. Small are the worries of the world below, under the weight of the eternal glow. Cosmic ocean, starry abyss, nature's own and a celestial kiss. Deep in the canyon where the sun is thin, where the secrets of the water begin. A pool of the dark and a pool of the blue, reflecting a version of the sky that is true. The reservoir is a silent and a heavy weight, held in the hands of the mountain's fate. Sunken well in a deep reservoir, colder than the light of the morning star. Still and steady, ancient and clear, the most peaceful water that I can hear. The ripples are gone and the surface is glass, watching how the clouds and the eagles pass. The granite is a wall and the granite spirits of the valley finally rest. Drink from the edge where the mosses gleam, the purest spirit that I've ever seen. A liquid silence, a liquid grace on the mountain's dark and hidden face, sunken well and a deep reservoir, colder than the light of the morning star, still and steady, ancient and clear, the most peaceful order that I can hear. Deep as a voice, sunken wells, secrets that the waters never tell.
Islands of fleece in a sea of the blue, passing the mountain and passing the view, with no engine and with no wing, just a song that the high wind sings. The white navigators are sailing so far under the light of the morning star. Cloud drifter and the white navigators, nature's own and the world's creator, changing the shape and changing the light in the middle of the morning, in the midday bright. They cast a shadow on the valley floor, stretching away from the cabin door, a slow motion dance in the open air, floating in a peace that is everywhere. I lie on my back and I watch them go in the rhythm that only the breezes know. watching how the seeds and the spirits grow. A fleeting beauty, a transient grace on the planet's wide and eternal face. Cloud drifter and the white navigators, nature's own and the world's creators, changing the shape and changing the light in the middle of the morning and the midday bright. Navigators, cloud drifter, making the spirit of the human swifter.
Listen to the beat of the falling leaf, a story of life that is long and brief. The thud of the cone on the mossy ground, in the most organic rhythm I've found. The sap is moving in a hidden flow, watching how the seeds and the spirits grow. Woodland pulse and a forest rhythm, living in the world and living with them. Every heartbeat and every breath is a victory over the silence and death. The woodpecker drums on the hollow oak, wearing a feather and a rhythmic cloak. The wind is a bass in the heavy boughs, waking the deer and waking the cows. A symphony written in the wood and the stone, in a language that the nature has always known. No need for a stage, no need for a light. When the music is playing through the day and night, a connection of sound, a connection of grace, in the valleys old and eternal space. Woodland pulse and the forest rhythm, is a victory over the silence and